I'm Jeff Gordon, and you're watching Racing America.
Well, everybody, welcome in to your favorite racing and general 9 years strong. This is indeed the Revved Sports Show for Texas. Real race talk. Showtime Bobby Chaffee right here. The Iceman, Rodney Rodriguez, that is the man on the left-hand side of the screen. Hey, partner, it's been a crazy couple of days. Did you get your new helmet? Did you finally get it?
Got a helmet, man. Got a helmet. Already dropped it. Already has a scuff. Already has a scuff in there. I just realized that we our first guests are waiting in the waiting room already, and one of them is probably not going to be happy about me having that Texas Longhorn helmet. So we won't even bring that up here in just a little bit.
Well, we don't know why I thought her dad liked the Longhorns.
I don't know. We don't have to go down that road. I don't think it's going to be something very.
I know she's an Aggie because she told me in Victory Lane. Are going to be an Aggie.
Let me tell you something. I am invested in Tarleton State, which is in the Aggie system, and actually the kid that graduated from there, that's getting her master's now from there. Before that, she was at UHV, which is now U8, which is now Victoria A&M or something like that. So I guess I'm part Aggie too, man. I guess I don't dislike them. I mean, I love them all. I love them all.
Well, almost all of them.
Well, no, we got a great show tonight, man. It's started to cool down. I had very early sports talk duty this morning at 7, and I mean I'm usually up by then anyway. I mean I'm always up by then. I don't sleep in very much, but it was like it stayed dark until about 7:20, I think it was. We're supposed to have a cool front coming in, so it's supposed to rain. Yeah, I know. I had a tea time set up that I had to cancel. So yeah. They're like, you get a day off. You get don't do anything work related on Wednesday. I said, all right, I'm going to go swing the sticks. Sure as hell, it's going to rain all day. Of course, right?
I don't know. Well, one guy said it was, and one guy said it's not. So I guess it may half-ass do it like normal.
Yeah, there's always that. There is always that. And yes, absolutely. The Davis ladies are coming up. I always say Davis girls because they're always about this high to me. So that's we're going to talk to them here in just a few minutes, probably about 5 minutes out. But season finale coming up at Cotton Bowl Speedway, and that's the cool thing about the Davis ladies is that they obviously are the trophy presenters, the trophy ladies there.
I did not call them trophy queens. I said
there
trophy
you go,
presenters.
and that's where
no one corrected me, so I'm assuming it was okay.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing, back in our days, it was trophy queen. And now, I mean, queen is very flattering, I think, but it's one of those things where I'm very careful how I use those terms now because I sure as hell don't want to piss anybody off. That's not in my goal thing.
We try to be socially responsible
to do the right
on the
thing.
show.
Trying to do the right thing. But yes, so we have them, and it is Ladies' Night. It's Ladies' Night. Oh, what a night on Tuesday, live here on Revved Up is coming up at 7:30. The newly crowned. We can call her, I guess, queen of the Texana factory stocks, Caitlin Leonard. So it's like we've got the powerful women on the program tonight.
That's some powerful ladies in the house tonight. Women's good, I guess.
Got no problem with women, ever. So, yes, very good stuff. But before we dive into all that, so did you hear the big news today?
The Mike Gundy news? Oh, I don't know.
I read that apparently, let's see where it's at.
Oh, yeah, Chili's is going to redo their skillet queso.
Skillet queso. Come on, man. You got to leave that stuff alone. I'm a queso connoisseur, and what we've got pulled up right there, the chips and the sauce and all that's really good. But then you add that skillet queso, as we say, is just exceptional, man. Leave that alone. This is a marketing ploy, dude. They learn from the Cracker Barrel, I think, on this thing.
I think so. Is my video fine? I had like 2 messages saying that my video was behind.
Oh, I see you. Yeah, I see you. Maybe a Wi-Fi thing.
Yeah, I thought you were about the Mike Gundy news, but yeah, Chili's is important too because Did you? I already heard they shut down the phones in San Marcos so that the Oklahoma State couldn't be calling GJ Kinney already.
Well, I mean, what I'm seeing for that is I'm seeing it's either going to be GJ your man, or like I said, Colin Klein, from Texas A&M, I think would be a good get as well, as he's kind of woken some things up there. So I don't know what they're going to do, but nothing's going to happen here. And I really thought that Gundy would go out on his own terms, but I guess the Tulsa thing was just inexcusable. But that dude, like I texted you guys in the group today, he's wanted to be done with this. And this comes on the heels of the famous "What's Wrong with Society? I'm a Man, I'm 40" thing that was 18 years ago yesterday. So yeah, the timing perfect. So,
has it been that long,
dude?
The I'm 40 thing has been
You're
that
getting
long.
that old.
I guess it makes him 58 then, huh?
Yeah, I mean he's in his prime right now. I think that he would. I don't know. Is that a TV guy?
Yeah, I think he could be
too, but I don't.
We never really thought Saban was TV material. Look how well he turned out,
knocking it out of the park with everything he's doing, and
him and Pat McAfee make a damn good tag team.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Pat McAfee guy, but you know what? He drives the ratings up, so that's good for ESPN. But yeah, so all of that happening, but the skillet queso. So, and it's not that it's going to be eliminated; it's that they're going to reformulate the recipe. So I don't know what that means.
No, man, that's gonna be like a new
that's
thing.
Exactly what it is, or probably what they're going to do is, because I've had this before, because trying to eat better and trying to whatever, as I slug beers here on Tuesday night, light beer at that helps my cause, but if you drink 12, that's not really helping the cause. But it's so now they have this meat that it's like meatless meat. Have you ever had that? The meat,
I don't know
what
meat?
It's called, but it's like, one night we had chili here one night, and it was, I mean, really good. I mean, it was really, really good. And Tracy says to me, she's like, that's not real meat. I'm like, that's not real meat. What are you talking about? It's chili. And she said, it's like a healthy meat. So I went and had two.
Yeah, it's probably called Beyond Meat or something.
So I went and had two more bowls, to make sure that I liked it. And I did.
Just to sample it, I guess?
Just to taste it, to make sure that it was okay. And it was. I don't know what they're going to do, but yeah, this is very much a new Coke, one of those type of things. You know how that goes, because the internet is going to go crazy when this is done, right? I mean, when it all happens, and Chili's is doing it a little different, to where they're actually giving us a warning that they're going to do it. So they're like really trying to preface this. Well, speaking of Nick Saban, you know what he said about the internet.
Why do you care about what some guy puts on the internet, who's a fat guy in his underwear living in his mother's basement?
To me, it's not my mother's basement. It's my wife's basement. But that's what we do. Yeah, good stuff there. So we'll see what shakes out with that. All right, let's dive in on a loaded program, and lots to talk about. We'll have some NASCAR talk on the backside of the program. NASCAR news to talk about today. Short track stuff. We'll kind of recap a little bit of the Frank Grill 112. Big news for the Modifieds of Mayhem, as they have added a date in November. I think that's going to be really cool. Kind of a little outside of their territory thing, but I think that that's a really cool thing.
They're coming to Houston. What?
You heard it here first. And then Knoxville Nationals, quite the week there for Hudson O'Neal, as he winds up picking his first. And then we'll preview the VS CU 300. Big ass late model stock race that's coming up at historic Martinsville Speedway. All of that on the program tonight. And as it says in the comments there, we are live. So be sure and drop your remarks. Be sure and drop your thoughts. If you have a question on something, you'd like us to comment on something, or you just want to rant, check in right there, right? That's what we're here. This is therapy. Tuesday night therapy. TNT.
No, Tuesday night. You said Thursday night. You're used to Thursday night football.
Oh, did I say Thursday? Thursday. Tuesday night. Sorry. That's a whole different world. Tuesday night therapy. It's still thing. TNT.
Fun Belt Tuesday night coming up here in a couple of weeks.
TNT. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's dive in. Let's head over to Smithville, the beautiful town of Smithville, Texas. Take a look at those two right there. Those two should be trophy presenters. It is the Davis ladies right there. As you look at it on the left side, that is the younger Colby, and Jesse, the older of the two, on the right side. How you doing, ladies?
Good. How are you? We're
Good.
good.
Good. But before we dig into asking all the hard questions, I really need y'all to tell me, what's my name?
Rodney.
Rodney.
No, Rodney. Rodney.
Oh hell, don't confuse them out of the box, dude.
I know. Now they're all grown. They're like, I don't know what this old dude's talking about. So anyway, how's the week going, you guys? Quite the weekend for you two at Texana.
It was fun.
Absolutely.
So did you guys have it planned to just go out and dominate like you did, or was that just by chance? I mean, y'all put on a pretty good whooping to the rest of the ladies there in the powder puff. I mean, Jesse, you won it, and Colby finished second. But I mean, did you guys? I mean, you always plan to win, right? But I mean, did you plan to dominate and just look like you've raced a million times before that?
No, I think going into it, we told ourselves we weren't going to win because that's how you lose. If you tell yourself you're going to win. So we went into it not thinking we were going to win, just trying to have fun. And I mean, we have somewhat of a racing background. So, I mean, we know how to drive race cars. We just didn't know that we were going to do that well. We'd never been in a dwarf car before.
So how did that come about for you guys? Because I know that the DCRST powder puff thing had been going, they had tried to do it a few different times, as a matter of fact, and it kept getting rained out or whatever. And I kept seeing names tossed around, and I was trying to figure out who I would, if I was going to go lay money down on somebody. And I never saw you two even mentioned. And then I jump on my race pass, and it's like Jesse and Colby Davis. I'm like, shit, game over. Game over. How did all that come about for you guys?
Well, one of the races, dwarf cars were at Cotton Bowl, and we ended up talking to Dwayne, and kind of been just hitting over that to my dad that I've been wanting to join in the powder puff this year, and then ended up asking the Mock family if I could drive one of their cars. So, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, and for me, I was originally thinking that I was gonna do it, and then I didn't know what car I was gonna drive. I had a friend that came to Cotton Bowl, and he was like, "Are you gonna drive my car?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I planned to drive that car, and then he threw in the towel last minute because it wasn't gonna be fixed by the time the race, and then. We announced to everyone that I wasn't going to be driving, and so I wasn't originally going to do it. And then that morning, actually, Danielle Long called my dad and was like, "Hey, we have a car if you're still wanting to do it." And I was like, "Let's go."
Love it.
So how does that track compare, or how does being on the track compare versus driving the go-karts in the backyard over at the homestead over there? Because obviously it's two different things. I mean, you guys were just getting faster and faster, and Danny posted some of the pictures of you guys racing go-karts back in the day and all of that on the family homestead. So I mean, did it fit your expectations about going from the go-kart all the way up to the dwarf racing the full-size racetrack?
I mean, it's definitely this big difference. Obviously, your go-kart has like 3 horsepower. And then you're going to a couple hundred. Yeah. So, and go-kart versus a full-size car, it's completely different. But as far as like the same principles, I think we had that in mind, but did not know how to drive one of those at all. Like, I mean, my dad has raced dwarfs since we were 3, and I was 3, Colby was a baby. And so I never really like drove it. And then a couple of years ago, he had one, and we just drove it on the driveway. Like, just the only thing we knew how to do was let out the clutch, but we never knew how to race one.
Well, that's the most important part when it comes to those cars. So talk about that part. I mean, as the cool people say, I've been knowing your parents for a long time, and you guys as well. So I remember the old pictures of the old green number 7 and so forth with all of that, and you guys. Whether it be some type of go-kart or whatever, I mean, you guys, and I think a lot of this, it was both Danny and Tammy, to where they were like, they put you guys behind the wheel of stuff, and it's like, just get in there and drive. Kind of talk about that, because you guys, the driving is nothing new to you two ladies.
Well, I definitely will say like driving, like getting out there and just kind of getting put in the car. It definitely is a change from going from go karts in your backyard. You definitely have to know like more on how to control the car and the feel of the track and knowing more of the people around you instead of just one other person racing in the backyard with you. But um, it's definitely a big change and very addicting, and just you have to watch out for a lot of things and watch in front of you and not only know just what you're doing but everything else around you.
Mhm.
And yeah, Rodney, like you said, the driving dynamic hasn't been very different for us because my dad's had race cars. We've always been put behind the wheel of something, like you said, but nothing to that like magnitude. I would say like it wasn't ever that fast or that big of a deal. It was more like you're just doing it around here. It wasn't like we're doing it in front of hundreds of people.
Exactly.
So Jesse, talk about it. I asked you about being the valedictorian of Smithfield High School, and you'd already filled out your applications. I know we joked one time at Cotton Bowl that the second half of your senior year doesn't matter because you put in all the applications early. But comparatively, I mean, obviously you hit the books a lot. Did you go to school there on yesterday, and be like, "Ha ha, look what I did. I'm smart."
None
And
of
I'm
my
fast.
friends or none of my like classmates really know that I do this. I mean, they do. They know that I'm the racing girl. They've been the race car girl at my school, but they don't know the extent of it. I don't think because they don't keep up with it and they don't watch it. So I've tried to get a lot of my friends interested in it, and they're just not. So I mean, that's fine too. But yeah, I went to school and like I mean, a couple of them of my closer friends asked me how it went. And I told them I won, but they didn't know like how big of a deal it was for me. Like, so I mean, they just were like, "Oh, you won, good job," and I was like, "No, like it was fun, like it was." And they don't really ask too many questions, but yeah, I didn't really try to talk about it too much because they don't really
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. They have no idea. They
They
don't understand. Right.
they have no idea. They don't know anything about cars, so they don't.
Yeah. And Colby, so for you, I know because when I was trying to get this scheduled up with the folks, I mean, Tammy was like, Colby's got something. Colby's got volleyball. I mean, there's all this stuff going on. Let's talk about you. I mean, you being the younger one there. Jesse's path is kind of set there for her moving forward. So let's kind of talk about you. What all are you doing outside of racing? Because you ladies are quite busy. You youngsters have a lot of energy that I wish that I had.
Right now, I am playing volleyball for the high school, Smithville High School. I'm on the freshman team, and that's all I'm doing out of school right now, besides trophies at the track. But yeah. um,
You're good. Yep.
I had a game tonight against Belleville. We didn't win, but other than that, yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty much all I'm doing out of school right now at the moment.
Yep.
So let's talk about your dad for a minute. I know he's watching, and he's a friend of the show. He watches the show, and I've known your dad. Actually, well, Rodney and I have both known your dad before you guys are even born. So that makes both of us feel really old that one of y'all's graduating high school and the other one's an incoming freshman. But has Danny pushed you guys into racing? I know, Jesse, you got to race a little bit with that Nova, but I mean, has it been like a tomboy thing where he's just been like, go to the track, and now you guys go to the track every week and you're handing out trophies instead of chasing them yourself? How's his reception been to that?
Really, I mean, I was old enough to kind of like know if I liked it whenever he first started. He's been racing since before we were born, obviously, but he started dwarfs whenever I was 3, and then Colby was a baby, so she was always at my grandma's house. They like would go to the track. They would take me occasionally. I would go out to Central Texas and Corpus and all those asphalt tracks with him, and I mean, I went quite a bit, so I was around it. I liked it because my dad did it. It was just something that, like, you grow up liking what your parents like, kind of thing. And then, really, he never like pushed it on us. He was just kind of like, do what you want to do. Like, this is what I do, but if you think it's cool, we can do that too. So.
Yeah, no, that's the best support system right there. I mean, that's really cool. So for you guys, I have to ask you on Saturday night. I mean, with both of them, because I know you're both parents very well. Which one? Who was more competitive? Because obviously Danny is he's a racer himself, like you guys have mentioned, extremely competitive, really great behind the wheel himself. But at the same time, Mom. I know Mom played softball, and Mom's very competitive. So were either one of them, did y'all at any point did you have to say, calm down, it's going to be okay?
Really, they were just trying to calm us down, I think.
Yeah.
COVID was a little nervous, and
yeah, I was a little nervous.
That's awesome.
But yeah, my dad, he'd give us a whole pep talk of like what to do, what not to do before, like if somebody we went over a situation in the living room. We took some Hot Wheels and made a circle in the carpet in the living room, and he was like, okay, if a car comes here, what are you doing? Or like we just did certain stuff, and he was like, leave, if you don't know who's on the outside of you, leave a car length, like just basic stuff that you need to know before you go out on the track. And I kind of knew all of this stuff, but we were just like going over it, and Colby was learning it. And yeah, he kind of gave us a little pep talk. And then my mom, like, she was just there to just kind of support.
That's great.
That's funny. Danny, or I guess I'm assuming it's your dad posted on there. I don't know if you guys get to see the comment. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to listen to Dad. So away from the track, or at least away from the competitive side of the track, you guys obviously do softball, volleyball, and stuff like that. Has that been a driving force to kind of keep you guys away from a race car, or did you guys want race cars growing up, like quarter midgets or anything like that? What's the story on that?
No, definitely. Doing sports is definitely not that kind of key thing keeping us away from racing at all. But I just do inside school sports, no select, nothing much, but out of school. But I definitely would like a dwarf car. I've always wanted something. Jessie, when she was about my age, she did factory stock, which I like. I don't know. I would like to experience doing dwarf cars or something now, since I know that I definitely have it. But yeah, I've always enjoyed doing go-karts or anything like that, but never really. I've been starting to beg my dad a lot more ever since that Texana race. But
nice. I've got an old fat boy car. Come get it. It's in the way.
For me, I mean, softball was something that I grew up around too. I mean, I played t-ball since I was 3. I have played pretty much every year since, and I played select for like 4 years or so. I played on like Texas Glory and just the smaller teams like that. And then I played select volleyball. And then whenever it was time I had so many things going on and I wanted a race car, my dad was like, okay, you have to choose. You want to do volleyball, softball, or race? And I chose to race. And so that's and then I stopped all that stuff and I play high school ball, but I don't play select anymore because racing kind of took that away. So.
Yeah, no, totally get it. So let's talk about the other part. Like we said, I think our banner here says exactly what the story was, that you guys traded the sashes for trophies this past weekend. So let's talk about that part. So you guys, the presenters there at Cotton Bowl Speedway, kind of talk about that part. So you guys had the driving suits on this past weekend, but again, you got the finale, regular season finale coming up this weekend there at CBS. Typically, folks can find you guys there all dressed up to the nines and doing that job. Kind of talk about that job. You guys, it kind of keeps you in the middle of everything, and you just kind of sit there, be pretty, and hand out trophies. Kind of talk about that job.
Yeah. So at first, it was just me doing it because I Marianne had text Marianne Nauman. She's, y'all know her, but for those who don't, she runs the track at Cotton Bowl. And so our other trophy girl, Kendall Garral, she had a softball tournament that week, and she didn't have a trophy girl. So Marianne texted my dad or my mom. She texted my parents and said, "Hey, I think your daughter is really beautiful. Like, we just want to have her at the track and do trophies." And I was like, it was a couple hours before the race, and I was like, whoa, like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And I remember I was in a rush. Like, I did my hair, I did my makeup in such a rush. And so yeah, I did that. And then I did it for the rest of that season with Kendall Garral. And then that next season Colby was always like watching, and I felt bad. So I was like, hey, can my little sister do it too? Like, we look the same pretty much. So I was like, she do it. And I was like, I think it'd be a lot of fun for her. She's like, yeah, for sure. And so Colby tried it, and we weren't like just throwing her into it, but if she liked it, she could do it, and she liked it. So you can tell her about it.
Yeah. Jessie asked me if I wanted to join doing trophies with her. So I ended up trying it one weekend. And at first I wasn't so sure because I wasn't too all that little kind of dress to impress kind of thing. But I tried it, and I definitely fell in love with it. And being a part of the track is a lot to do. And it's very it's very a main thing I get to go out and do pretty much every other weekend. Yeah, it's really fun. I get to do a lot of other extra things at the track, not only just hand out trophies and take pictures, but help a lot of extra stuff. And one of our main bosses, Cody Alexander, I go and try to help him out a lot because he's helps a lot. I couldn't think of more than anything, but I go out and I help him mow the track, and I take care of the track sometimes.
Wow.
And do a lot of extra stuff around there and help him out a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cody left that part out.
I never knew that part.
So what do you guys keep track of Cotton Bowl? Or is there any stories we need to know coming into this race weekend coming up on Saturday?
No, we kind of we keep track of the schedule, but we're not really we try not to get too involved, I guess you would say, with everything that goes on. Because there's 10 million things that happen. We're just one part of it. And so we kind of just try to stay to ourselves, get our job done, and do what we're supposed to do. So I mean, as far as any secret things, no, we don't know. We just show up, give them their trophies, and say bye.
She's saying we don't need to know. It's a need to know basis, and we don't need to know. Is kind of what she's telling us right there.
Leave that to the adults. We just kind of stand there and look pretty. So
hey, you do a good job of that. So last one for me, ladies. So what does this do for you guys? Colby, you talk about kind of that desire that wanting to race is extremely fired up right now. Jessie, for you, obviously your life is just about to take off. Once you get out of high school. What happens next? Is this going to be a thing to where I know this takes a lot of money, and your dad and your mom, you guys have always done this out of pocket. Is this something that's really going to ignite that fire for Davis Racing again to maybe hopefully you two blondies are going to be on the track here a little more often? Maybe not just in specialized races like we saw this weekend.
I don't know. It's hard. Like you said, it takes a lot of money. I'm going off to college next year. So if I were to find a car or find sponsors and all that, it would be for the next year or so. And then, I mean, Colby would be able to do it hopefully too. And she could really take off and do it. But as far as me, I could do it when I can, but I would prefer to do it all the time. So, I mean, hopefully we can get into some more cars or our own eventually.
Yeah. Main thing right now is honestly, it's very expensive, obviously getting into that, like you said, but I definitely think at a point, I feel like maybe I'm getting pretty close to that point where I'm going to have a job soon, but I really think going and working or something, trying to save up money, maybe help my parents out and kind of really talked about getting me something to just start off with, get some seat time in a car, and look for sponsorships and all those good things to do. So,
Yes, ma'am.
You know, they got that restricted division now.
No,
Rodney got a couple of old cars that work in that
wouldn't be
restricted
fair.
division.
I mean,
I don't know.
these two.
So like I don't like to brag, but they said that like my time was 4th fastest off of their pro division times. So all the guys were like, you need to come race with us. I think Colby would have fun with it because they're restricted, because it's her age of kids that are doing it. And she definitely would dominate, but
definitely with seat time.
Yeah,
definitely.
They'd have to move her up. They'd be after one race. They'd be like, "You need to move up."
maybe. They'd be like, "Okay, you're too good."
Yeah, absolutely. Girls, this has been fun. Thanks for hopping on here, Colby. Thanks for. I know it's been tough for you today with everything you've been doing, but was really cool. And again, I just absolutely love this picture right here, because that when I saw that on Saturday night, I mean, that's a proud dad and that's a proud mom, and you two, you're their pride and joy, as you should be, and you made them and a lot of damn people proud with what you did on Saturday night. Congratulations, love you guys.
But y'all have fun. We'll see. I'll see you Saturday for sure. So y'all try not to get into too much trouble, and y'all try to act a little bit more wild on that pre-race show that y'all do up there at Cotton Bowl. Don't let Milton have all the fun. Get a little wild on that damn thing.
Yeah, we get asked a couple questions. I told them they need to interview us.
Yeah, they should tell Milton to spice that thing up.
Right.
It's like, come on, dude, come on. I think I did one of those with y'all, and you guys were tell him, come on, man, we need some energy here.
Yeah, I think last week Cody did it. It was good. Yeah, we need some action sometimes.
There you go.
We have to stand there and smile, and it's great and it's funny, but yeah.
Does that hurt after a while?
Yeah. We're kind of trained. Yeah. Like, I think my mouth is used to it.
That's awesome. All right, girls. Congratulations. Thanks for taking the time. Thank the folks also for us for getting this hooked up, and we'll see you soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
See y'all Saturday.
You bet. There they go. Damn, they grow up fast, don't they?
Makes you feel old, but it's cool. We're seeing that next generation all around come back around full circle. So that's that either makes us really old or makes us in this damn sport way longer than what we ever thought we would.
Absolutely. I think it's the latter of the two, to where it's like, man, we've just been doing this for so long. But I did actually go in before the show and sat and watched them, and man, just what a job.
They were good. Jesse was kicking ass.
That looked like a seasoned veteran out there. And Colby. When I saw Colby driving, when I saw her on the My Race Pass thing, I didn't know that she raced. I mean, I'm not surprised. Well, I guess she hadn't before this, but I wasn't surprised at all. But shoot, man, you talk about like a fish to water. That was very impressive by both of those ladies. Great job by them. Friends, before Caitlin Leonard is coming up as we continue ladies' night here. Now the champion at Texana Raceway Park. She will jump on here momentarily. But before that, the official apparel provider. I just realized that I've got the wrong shirt on. I just grabbed a gray polo, but this is one of the other brands. So if you're looking for Revved Up shirts, if you're looking for Bobby Chaffee shirts, if you're looking for Dirty Air shirts, if you're looking for your favorite driver shirts, it's probably taken care of and probably available from our friends at On Demand Shirts in San Antonio. Take a look at their work right here.
You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
Yes, it do. More than shirts, it is on-demand shirts.
Right. Speaking of on-demand shirts and Cotton Bowl, did you see those really kick-ass pink shirts and hoodies for Oktoberfest coming up? You can go to On-Demand Shirts has a link for sure. Cotton Bowl may have shared it on their Facebook page. Those are really good-looking shirts, custom event shirts for Cotton Bowl. They're pink hoodies and pink shirts for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Long time supporters there at Cotton Bowl Speedway with the with the Oktoberfest and breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. So get your hands on that stuff. And I definitely want to get one of those because that's one, even if I can't go to the event, I always like to have one of those just to be able to wear it and represent because it's a special cause and Marianne and H do a great job with just making that the forefront of so much of that event. So yeah, ODS doing a great job being a part of that. So let's hop in over here and check in with the champion. Take a look right there as now we go a little bit further south. I tell you, it's like we're going to spoil our audience because it's like, what are you guys doing with pretty ladies on here when we have to look at you guys all the time? Here is your 2025 Texana Raceway Park Factory Stock Champion. Let's welcome back to the program. Been a little bit. It is Caitlin Leonard. How you doing, ma'am?
How are y'all?
Doing well. So let's for you. We'll talk about the championship. We'll talk about all of that good stuff. Let's talk about the season. I mean, because for you, it's a lot. I mean, with Cody out and about and doing everything that he does, you've got to work on the car. You got a lot of folks that are working on that car. But for you to dive back in full time in a factory stock, just kind of talk about 2025 and how it all came about to get to this point.
So Cody gave me a car like the one I had before. So we talked to them, got it built, had help from everybody, my dad, everybody helping me. And I really wasn't going to run for points until halfway through the season. I looked at points and I was in the lead. So I told Cody, why don't I just run for points? Since I'm in the lead, I've never got to do this. My dad hated running points because you always had to go to the same track every weekend. So we have not been able to travel much. So we decided to do that. And the last couple of races, we were so stressed out because one of the races, the motor broke. So that hurt me in points. And then one race, somebody spun on the last lap. So I hit the brakes. I didn't want to tear the car up. And I had like 6 people pass me. So sucked in points that night. And this last Saturday night, we worked every day that week, put new shocks, put new springs, did everything to make this car faster for this night. Because if the second guy that was in points, if he would have just passed me once, he probably would have beat me in points with that 1 point. So we were struggling all night and scared and nervous and anxious because I wanted a points win really bad, just once. So It was fun.
Yep.
Well, it started a little rough for you there in that heat race, knocking the nose off that thing. Talk about the anxiety after that, because that had to be pulling your hair out after that rough heat race.
Yeah, so I was nervous when that happened. I was like, seriously? And so that guy actually came up to us and apologized. And Cody told him, he was like, she's running for points. So that really, we were scared that it hurt the car really bad. And he had no idea. He said he's only raced a couple times. But it was nice. He came and apologized and offered to help us if anything was wrong, but nothing happened. Luckily, Cooter came and I was pulled off the heat race. He was already there with his welding truck and welded the bumper back on and got it back and rolling.
So, Caitlin, how hard is that? I mean, when you get into points things, and it's one of the things that my dad always taught me as well. It's like we're not going to get into point stuff, and we did. I mean, we did, and it kind of talk about that part because it really is it's a balancing act because you actually want to go out and do as well as you can. At the same time, maybe you're a little apprehensive because you're looking at the big goal. But kind of talk about that. Did the incident in the heat race, kind of knocking the cobwebs out of you, did that kind of reinvigorate you? Because in the feature race you drove that thing right to third place. So kind of take us through all of that.
So in the heat race after that happened, I thought something was wrong with the car. It was not steering right. I was mad, so I was driving even harder, blowing the tires off. I was like, come on. So I was nervous, but then the feature came. We changed, I think we changed the spring, and that was it. And on the start of that race, the car just drove, and I was like, what the heck? And it stayed on the right rear all night and was fast. I've never had a bite like that before with that car.
Mm-hmm.
So are you running to Cotton Bowl? Did you convince Cody to let you go? Did you change the rear end like you talked about doing to run Cotton Bowl on Saturday?
I'm trying to convince him still. We have all the kids this weekend, so it's kind of hard to all of us load up. So I'm trying to convince him for us to just all go, because I want to race there at least once this year. We tried to go that rained out, and then Oktoberfest he'll be working, so I don't want to go up there for a big show by myself.
Yeah. So I do want to ask you about. Let's kind of talk about. Oops, wrong one right there. Let's kind of talk about. Let's talk about Texana. being the champion right there. I think that it's been. I mean, not that Texana's been a great facility for a long time. And when Owen was there, I mean, did a great job. He and Cord during their time, and now Cord, with Monty and the team, Bobby, everybody that's there doing that. Kind of talk about that part, because that's really kind of the like your family. That's very much a homegrown hometown racetrack, and that really makes you want to go be a part of that program, I think.
Texana's actually, I mean, they've updated this facility a lot. It's really nice. It's way nicer than it has been. I like say that's my home track, but I like to travel. I don't know if I just got spoiled with my dad traveling. Like, we were never at the same track every single weekend. So I like to just travel nonstop and just, I don't know, you meet new people and you race with new people. But I don't know. Edna this year has actually been amazing. They're not tore up for once. It's been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does have that unique home style, and Cord's definitely put a lot of effort in the off seasons to get that place up to some incredible standards. And I think people are noticing that. The racers are noticing the commitment, and the fans are noticing the commitment. I think everybody's starting to pay off down there. With all the infrastructure changes. In terms of, like, when you're deciding where to race, what is the main thing for you? Is it distance? You said you like to travel. So do you like just put, tracks in a hat and yank one out and say, hey, we're going to go here this weekend, or we're going to follow money? How did you guys determine which one you're
I
going
like
to
to follow money once we get the car 100%. We were supposed to go to that 30,000 race, and we decided not to. Well, we were actually going to go, but then it rained out, and it ended up on a points night for Edna. So we were like, let's just run points. We didn't really want to do money just yet until we get the car 100%, because we've had problems all year with it and have not figured out until this last race. I think we finally figured out there's still more improvements that we want to make this week, but I don't know. I like to run hot. That's one of my favorites. Boyd, I like a lot. So it's just when we can, when Cody's home, whatever dates those are. So it's kind of hard.
So let's talk. I'm sorry, Caitlin. So let's talk about that part, because there we go. Talk about that part, because for you, this is like the second part of your career. You started out. I mean, you're extremely young now, but you started out and you raced for a while, and you did. I mean, you did some major traveling. Kind of talk about some of those places, kind of outside of the regular area here that you've done. Took a little bit of time off, and boom, here you are again. So kind of talk about that, because you. Again, while very young in years, you've been doing this for quite a little bit.
Yeah, there was, I can't remember what year 30 to 40 was just that year. We traveled. My dad finally would let me travel with my brother and him, and then he actually let me travel. We went by ourselves, just me and him, and it was nice because he was like, I'm not taking this with Cody because he makes the money. But when I did really good in Boyd. I went from last to second or third and didn't even know it. And he's like, well, I guess I can probably start taking you places. But I like all the tracks. I love Cottonville. I think they have the best facility out of all the tracks so far. Louisiana was one of my favorites at Boot Hill. Everybody was nice, came up and talked to us. And there was really no dirty driving. I mean, I just like that town. I mean, everybody would just come up and talk to you and introduce themselves and help you and ask who you are. And that's what I like. I like people coming and talking to each other and helping people.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Caitlin, me, you, and Cody talked about it a little bit after the races were over. We were talking about that where Texana decided to do the guaranteed $1,000 to win factory stocks, and we were kind of wondering why more factory stocks weren't coming. You mentioned traveling. It's kind of nice, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the track or anything. It's just my 2 cents, my opinion. Is that it's got to be nice when a track that's close to home pays the money that it does, because it's expensive to travel. And some of these races that you're going to, I mean, you're only paying a couple $100 to win, and it takes you, $400 or $500 to get there from as far as South Texas as you are. So talk about the availability to run close to home for a good purse.
I honestly forget that it's 1,000 wins since we haven't had no good luck. But when I got third this past Saturday, I looked at everybody and they're like, "Oh, how much you win? Just $100?" And I was like, "No, $300." And they're like, "What, for third place?" I was like, "Yes." And I'm surprised. I figured we'd have 24 more every night with 1,000 wins. Since Corpus don't run factory stocks all year, but 2 or 3 times now. And 37 was running the Fireballs versus factory stocks, so it wasn't. They should travel more, I would think. And I think it's just hard to get more people just in Edna. I mean, 105 has their locals that always stay there. And I don't think Cotton Bowl was racing, so I'm surprised a lot more people don't just come down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. That that's the thing. It does seem like in the South Central part that folks are very devoted to their tracks, and I get that. I mean, I totally get that. So for you guys, we kind of talked there about Oktoberfest. I know Corpus has a couple of big events left. Obviously in December, you know, with the big event there. Anything else on your radar that you're? I know it depends on scheduling and kiddos and all that. Anything else that you're planning to hopefully be able to get to, or that may already line out that you'll be able to get the 9C down to?
So for sure, we're going to run the Clash. And then I think we're going to make both Corpus's big show. I think they have 2 this year. So we have not ran Corpus at all this year. So I'm kind of excited to try out the car there because we have not been there all season.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know.
So what's been your most memorable moment so far this year? I mean, you want to travel, but what was it? Was it Saturday, or was there another night that's most memorable for you for 2025?
No, I think this Saturday was the most fun we've had. I mean, after I got that whole day, I was like, no, I don't want to drink nothing. And after I got the car Saturday, I was like, Cody, get me a twisted tea. I want to celebrate.
I love it. I love it.
All day, like sick to my stomach, nervous. I want to win this championship. I've never got to. And then I went out there and I was in third on the restart. I was like, oh my gosh, I might have a chance at this. And it was fun. I didn't expect to get that far ahead.
Yeah, no, it was a hell of a run. So talk about all the folks that make it happen. I mean, because it is. I mean, it's a challenge for you guys with you know, Cody on the road and so forth. But there's a lot of people, and again, I love the folks. I mean, I read the posts and folks that are helping you. I love that. I absolutely love that. Kind of talk about all the folks that make this happen for you.
Mark Wright parks next to Longhorn Liquor. He sponsors every other race. He'll give us money, and at the track when Cody's not there, he's always offering to help. Like, hey, do you need this? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I got it. And then we have a couple friends that come to the races, Ashley and Anthony, and they come in the pits, buy a pit pass, and come help me all night long. Johnny Westfall and all them help me all night long, and then of course my dad, and then Cody sponsored the whole racing deal for me. He would want to get out of racing if it was his choice, but I keep telling him, no, let's keep racing. So
that's right.
And then Monty Chamberlain, he sponsors my way into Edna every race. So that helps a lot.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Well, hopefully the championship will get you a few more. I hope so anyway, because you're one of the fun ones. We have a good time. Too bad you're not wearing the RUSS shirt that I gave you, but that's okay. Rodney wanted to see you in the RUSS shirt in person.
I'll get to the track soon, Caitlin. So we'll make that happen at some point. I do want to. So let's talk about Cody. So with him, obviously he was hurt at one point, so being able to overcome that, but that dude just keeps wheeling. And another guy that he jumps into a bunch of different stuff, and hell, every time I look up, he's on a podium somewhere. Kind of talk about brother there with his stuff.
Yeah, I haven't. House, they're always working on the race car, but he always has something new every time I talk to my dad or talk to them. But hopefully I can get in a modified just like him one day.
Oh.
Talking about stock car, but it's kind of hard where we live because if we race a stock car, it's only like Cotton Bowl and hot, so it's kind of hard to travel with stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. That'd be fun. Have a couple of Leonards racing stems. That could be a lot of fun.
I have to say, I drove that sport mod and then I drove that modified, and modifieds are way easier than a sport mod.
Yeah. So I bet it's different for you because we ask a lot of the ladies, especially the ones like yourself that are so competitive, but you've done this for so long and always been so good at this. I mean this in the most flattering way. You're just one of the guys. I mean, you get out there and there is no hesitation. People they're not concerned about racing around you because you're probably going to beat them if you're around them. Kind of talk about that part, because you've grown into this role. And when we talk about factory stocks in South and Central Texas, I mean, you're right at the top of the list of the best that there is around here.
Yeah, I try not to be like, oh, I'm a girl, like, don't drive me like that. I just don't like that. I mean, I guess I've been racing. Everybody will ask me like, "Oh, you're the only girl out there." I'm like, most of the time there's a couple, and then even when I go to the races by myself and I have my son with me, it's just me and him, and people help me at the track. The girl racers will come up like, "How do you come out here by yourself?" And I was like, "My dad just taught me everything that I need to know, because I used to go by myself when he was with Cody out of town racing or somewhere." But it's nice not being just, the girly girl out there that runs you over, and I don't know. Nice to be competitive, I like to say.
No doubt. No doubt.
So, are you coming to the banquet? I haven't seen you RSVP on the page. Hopefully, you're coming to the banquet.
Yes, I texted Monty. Cody actually leaves for work on Tuesday, so he's gonna fly home for the banquet and then fly right back up to West Texas. So, yeah,
super awesome. Got to be there.
I will try not to embarrass you at the banquet. I promise. I will try not to embarrass you, because Monty and I are hosting it. So,
I didn't know.
Yeah, Monty and I are hosting it. Breaking news. So. Yeah, I'll try not to embarrass you.
I was texting Monty. I was like, "Is there beer, or do we bring our own beer?"
That is my girl. The most important stuff right there. Is there beer? Do we bring our own? That's definitely something cool.
That's a really good question. What did he say?
Yeah, then you make up about it, like, everything that they're gonna have for you, or what to bring.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. Super cool. Proud of the championship. As I said, always one of your biggest fans. And thank you for the photo with the shirt there. Like I said, the logos never look better. So that's super awesome. So congratulations on winning that championship. And I will see you at a track soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care, Caitlin.
Bye.
You bet. Here she goes. The champ. How about that? It's a fast lady behind the wheel.
Her program just got better and better. She was really competitive on Saturday night. Like she said, they spent all that time changing them shocks and working on the springs and all that. That car had an extra gear on Saturday. It looked good. She seemed really comfortable. The best races she's run all season. Yeah. So lots of it's never a bad time to run your best on championship night and outrun your championship rivals. That's usually the time to really get it in gear and put a good night on.
And I think a lot of that may have been because I've never been in like a points championship event. It's like one of those things to finish in the top 3 of the top 5. And I know that's a lot of apprehension. That's a lot of distraction, that's going to happen right there. So it may have been to where that incident there, at the beginning, when you knocked the nose off and kind of knocked the tail off and all the different things, to where maybe that was a little bit of a blessing in disguise, to where it kind of loosens you up a little bit and kind of, to get out there and just do your own thing, do what's gotten you to that point. And she did. She had a hell of a drive in the feature, and track champion at Texana. That's it's pretty damn impressive right there for that young lady.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Lots of good stuff. A lot of people went to Texana for the first time in a while and really enjoyed it. So the facility wise, seeing the upgrades and some of the different stuff, and the race was pretty good on Saturday night too. So that was a plus for me. Made it a little easier for my job.
So you had that at Texana, and thank you to the folks right there for checking in, the Davis girls and Caitlin, for their congratulations to them on their victorious nights there and championships, and for being a part of the program tonight. But as we mentioned there with Cotton Bowl, so you've got that one coming up, and there's some tight point battles that are going to be happening there, and it's a loaded night there at CBS. And again, when you want the great fan experience and everything that you're going to get, I mean seriously, and this is no again disregard to any other place, but Caitlin kind of talked about it right there. That is, when it comes to fan friendly, when it comes to atmosphere, when it comes to facilities, CBS, that I tell a lot of folks when it's like, I want to go to the dirt track for the first time, I'm like, go to Cotton Bowl. I think that you will totally enjoy yourself there, because it's a place where you roll in, and it's very fan friendly. So they've got a big one coming up on Saturday, and I think they're going to have a pretty marquee night that's going to be going on there.
It could be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to going back out there. A couple of times I was headed out there and it started raining and they had to cancel. So, just the way that Mother Nature works. So it's gonna be fun going up there on Saturday. I'll probably be up in the tower helping H. Championship night. He needs an extra set of eyes. So I may be an extra set of eyes for him as long as Lauren lets me stay up in the booth. because I don't know how to score. So she leaves and H is in trouble. So H will kick me out before he kicks her out.
For sure. That's for sure. Good stuff there. Cotton Bowl Speedway coming up on Saturday night. Next, we'll go down the short track road around the country, talk about some of the stuff that's coming up, review a little bit of what we had this past weekend. Had a big UARA event. We'll kind of give you some nuts and bolts on that. And then kind of go down the NASCAR path and talk about everything after New Hampshire as we are into the second round of the playoffs. By popular demand, first, we're going to hear from our friends at My Race Pass. But as we come back in, we'll have that retro commercial that we played last week, and I had 4 messages. They said, play that again. So we'll preview the weekend coming up at Corpus Christi, coming up in 1990. All of that and more. It's hashtag Real Race Talk. It is a Revved Up Sports Show.
Welcome to the My Race Pass app, the #1 app for motorsports fans. We want to make sure you get the most out of your My Race Pass app experience. With your new free account, you can use the My Race Pass app to see race day information, including event entries and official lineups and results for over 600 organizations across North America. You can also see track information and purchase online event tickets for select tracks. With your free account, you can also search for a track or series on the My Race Pass app and favorite their profile to receive news and race day notifications on your mobile device. To see more information and to see which app subscription is best for you, be sure to visit getmrpapp.com. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Let's go racing! Saturday night, Corpus Christi Speedway opens its 1990 racing season with more cars, more stars, more thrills, spills, and chills than ever before. South Texas' best drivers battling wheel to wheel and door handle to door handle on the high-banked asphalt in pure stocks, modified stocks, and those high-flying super stocks. The best oval track stock car racing in Texas. Gates open at 6, time trials at 7, races at 8. CC Speedway between Agnes and Bear Lane on Plateau Road, Saturday night, Corpus Christi Speedway.
Disclaimer, don't drive to CC Speedway this weekend because you won't see any of that. As a matter of fact, you won't see anything.
Won't see anything. Well, you see about half of the track if that other half is there.
Yeah, that's just too cool to not keep in the library and play. So, good stuff right there and good stuff tonight. So you had UARA with the Frank Grill Memorial 112, and it's Colin Allman, and that's a dude right there that's kind of been lurking there. When you look at UARA and you look at a lot of these super late model races, that 67 car is always right there, and he puts it all together in pretty fantastic fashion, winning that UARA race there. And that's a very special one. I mean, Augie was in that race. With the familiar 112 and a lot of emotion and a lot of excitement there to honor a really cool dude in Frankie Grill. But Allman, that's another guy as we start getting into this big race time that we've got, with Winchester coming up, the All-America, and obviously the Snowball will cap it all off. But Colin Allman's a dude where you really need to start factoring that guy into these big races because he is really, really good in supers.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of a name that sneaks up on you because at first you're like, who? And then when you do the digging and you see, how much his program has improved over the course of the last couple of seasons, then you're like, all right, this dude's a player. And he beat some heavy hitters there, South Alabama for that 112 this weekend. Lots of guys were there. They were, it was a pretty tough field. It was a typical UARA race where, you had heavy hitters and lots of people were there racing, and the racing was good. And I mean, it was a typical Ricky Brooks racing weekend, really. I mean, that's the only way to really describe it. Every race has its bumps and, little bumps and hiccups, but for the most part, just another great race from Ricky and the gang at UARA.
Yeah, and you got another one coming up this weekend. You've got 75 laps for the Sportsman. That'll be at Auburndale. That's going to be coming up, and the Sportsman at Auburndale, and that's the outlaw type of race car. So you'll have that one coming up, and that's going to be. I think I saw like when the initial thing, the entry list and so forth was released. I think these guys were already up to 15 cars. So kind of Auburndale, kind of one of the staple tracks there for the Sportsman. So that's coming up this weekend. So be sure and catch that. You can catch that on Racing America, as I think that that ought to be something pretty cool. Talked about the Modifieds of Mayhem at the top of the show, and big announcement from Stan Narrison and the group there at Modifieds of Mayhem is coming up on November 14th for the ASA Southern Super Series finale at New Smyrna Speedway, which is kind of off the beaten path there for where the Modifieds of Mayhem have been. So they will race on Friday night there at New Smyrna, and that's a whole different group. So I'm going to be curious to see what happens there. I don't know the total differences and so forth between the Florida Modified and a Southern Supers or a Southern Super, a Modifieds of Mayhem Modified, but I think that that's something on the night before you crown the Southern Super Series champion. I think that's something that could be pretty badass at NSS.
I think it's a good idea. I think it was logistically, yeah, like I said, it's a little far outside their normal realm. But I mean, I think it just make a hell
and
of
I
a
think
race.
the good thing about that is it kind of happens at the end of the season to where you've got a little bit of time to where you'll be able to, I mean, maybe a little snowball preview. I mean, to kind of get yourself ready for snowball. And I think that, oh, and by the way, also, I didn't check out Tim before they were on before us, but I did see. So when you start talking about the Derby and you talk about Outlaws and you talk about Sportsmen, 75 laps this year instead of 50 for the Outlaws at the Derby. So that's 25 extra laps right there. That I think that is gonna push that event to something really big in December at Five Flags.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, anytime you add extra laps at Pensacola, you add more tire wear, the reliability becomes an issue with engines. Some of those Outlaws, they turn some pretty hefty RPMs, and you add 25 laps to that. I mean, there's tell them what's going to happen at the end of that race. So I like to see it. I think that you're going to see, they've increased the pro late model to 125 laps. The Alan Turner race is going to be 125 laps now. So I think they've listened to the fans, and the fans want more racing. And I think that 125 is about the perfect amount of right there toward full fuel run and all of that there on a pro late model. So I think that that's going to be just an opportunity to just be great racing there the first
weekend. Pensacola is going to be absolutely a great place to be this weekend, as you will have Night of Champions #2 as they crowned some championships this past weekend. But coming up right there, take a look at that. So you've got this Southern Super Series, the next to the last race for them in that championship race. The pros, Alan Turner Hyundai pros will be there, and the Harvicks are coming in. So you got Kevin Harvick and you've got Keelan Harvick that are going to be racing, Bubba Pollard, Cole Butcher. I mean, the list goes on and on. You got about a 12-point separation between Pollard and Butcher going into this race. So I guarantee you that it's going to pick up pretty nice for Night of Champions #2 at Pensacola. This is going to be something that you really want to catch on Saturday night if you can.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. With the Blizzard Series races are always on another level. We love all the racing at Pensacola, right? We love the hospitality with Pat and Tim and the gang down there. But man, those Blizzard races, it's just they're to me they're like mini derbies, really. Or like a, I don't know, like what do you call it? like a tease kind of deal when you watch like a little YouTube short versus the full-fledged YouTube video kind of thing, like a trailer, if you will, for a full-fledged movie. That's what you get when you watch a Blizzard race down there. And it's always a good prelude to what you're going to see happen at the Snowball Derby, especially towards the end of the year when the championships are going and people don't have anything to lose because they're not chasing points, they're chasing trophies. That changes the atmosphere of that race. And so it makes it a lot of fun. I wish I was going to be able to be home and watch it versus going to Cotton Bowl, but I got to have some.
And I think that this one is, you add the Harvicks in there, and I think that this is something that's going to get more eyes on it. They're going to see one hell of a battle in both of these races. I mean, because with the super thing, and then with the pros, I mean, you've got a battle there with Jake Finch and Seth Christensen and Dustin Smith, to where it's like, and these are even more important when it comes to the pro late models as well, because I mean this is your chance to get. I mean, because we know what can happen trying to qualify for the Derby and the Snowflake. I mean, these are provisional spots that are on the line right here for these guys to get into the 125. So that this is going to be a drama-filled night as you kind of set the platter for the supers to finish off, at the finale right there. And then you have a loaded cast that's coming in for this with the added stuff. And then the pros, it's this is going to be something really cool to watch this weekend at Pensacola.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, I wish I could be there in person, just because we love the streamers, but sometimes, Pensacola is so it's just deceivingly quick, right? As big as that place is and as sweeping as the turns are with the, kind of racing in that bowl. That's why I tell everybody, I mean, if you can't make it, get to the Derby. The Derby is special. You have a hell of a good time, and we always enjoy ourselves when we're at the Derby, seeing all our friends and everybody else. But obviously, stream the races if you can't be there live. But Pensacola, it's a bucket list track for a reason. A lot of people have it on their bucket list of nationwide short tracks to go to, and it's that way for a reason. Whether you go to a Blizzard race, you go to the Derby, whatever the case may be, it's one of the racetracks that you got to go to. I mean, even Tony Stewart's touring series went there. The what was that? Not the All-Star Tour. What the hell did Tony Stewart call his All-Star
Oh
touring
yeah,
series that went to Pensacola?
yeah. SRL.
SRL. No,
Yeah,
no,
SRL went there.
that's not
Yeah,
right. That's
they were there. Yeah,
yeah.
so it was Pensacola on national TV that one time. So it's going to be, and I think the thing is, this is going to be, and I love the way this shakes out because it really is a good prelude to kind of take you into Snowball, because I think a lot of folks obviously understand that, and the Snowball is going to bring, because Cup will be done, all of that will be done. You may see Noah Gragson, a bunch of these different guys that are going to be able to make it out for that one, but I think if you have one hell of a show on Saturday night with everything that's going on there, that's really going to stack things up to where you get a lot of momentum going on. And oh, by the way, I think that, and again, this year the cooperation there that we've seen between Tim Bryant and Eddie Shoemaker over at Mobile has just been great with everything that they've been doing. Got a call from Eddie Shoemaker last week, and he's like, "Man, I need you on October 4th. I can't get there for that. I'm actually going to be in Biloxi. I'm going to be like right next door from Mobile for the October 4th show, but I've got some work obligations, but they got the UARA to win $7,500 to win there. So, I mean, who can come in and knock off Bubba Pollard on October 4th? Because you know that Bubba's going to come in, because Bubba goes to Mobile. It doesn't matter what he's doing. It's like he comes rolling in there. He's in a slump. And boom, he breaks out of it. And then you got sprint cars there that night too at Mobile, for the backyard brawl. I mean, you want to talk about SEC football. You want to talk about all these things. A backyard brawl with sprint cars coming up at Mobile. Shit, that's an October 4th one that, God, that's a can't miss also.
That was going to be a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
And it's so hard for them too to go against the SEC. They're right in the heart of SEC country, right there in Mobile, right there in Pensacola. But the fans still come out. The race fans will still come out, and obviously, I'm sure they'll probably have some stuff on TV somewhere. Yeah, both those places. You gotta have it. But that sprint cars at Mobile, I mean, the size of the testicles you got to have to run flat-footed around Mobile in a sprint car, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've seen some testing videos and all that to where they've been out there, and it's like, holy smoke. I mean, you are holding on for dear life. And I will say, kind of one of the things with Mobile, folks will say, well, it doesn't have a wall. I would think with a sprint car, I would rather kind of go off of the track and maybe take a little flight than hit a concrete wall, to be honest with you. I think if I had to take the lesser of the two evils, I think I would take that rather than hitting like a Pensacola wall, because that's a very abrupt stop. But just some really cool stuff. Really cool stuff that's coming up there. Again, the Night of Champions at Five Flags. You want to catch that as well. Up north at White Mountain, Johnny Clark had not been to Victory Lane since May of 2024. And that's unheard of. And he wins where he wins quite often. So Johnny Clark back to Victory Lane there at White Mountain Speedway. He won his 50th race, career race. It's a super late model race there at White Mountain 2024. Breaks the streak over a year. Weird to say. And Johnny Clark hadn't won in a year, but damn it, he breaks that streak and wins at White Mountain again.
That's great to see. Friend of the show, been on the show before. Nice dude.
Yep,
super
absolutely.
Nice guy.
Also, back to the dirt side, you had the Lucas Oil, you had the Lucas Knoxville Nationals, and that was something to follow along there. Just a week full of track. The track was a mess on a couple of different nights, but again, once again, you just see when you have a professionally run track like Knoxville is, to where they come in and they make chicken soup out of chicken shit, and that's exactly what they did throughout the week with some weather problems. Hudson O'Neal, I saw him tumbling over in the middle of the week, and I'll be damned, he comes out and he wins his first Knoxville Nationals there over Ricky Thornton Jr., Donnie Moran, and then Shepard. Rounding out the top four there, started 15th in that race and drove that sprint car to win the Knoxville Nationals. Really, really impressive.
It's
Right?
crazy. Yeah, it's impressive. Impressive.
Yeah,
It really was.
that right there. Because you get a lot of folks that say, well, it's a bunch of follow the leader. If you're going to start in the front, you're going to win or whatever. And it looked like that was going to be the case. I mean, it really looked like that was going to be the case. But that's what I love about the dirt, the Lucas Oil late models, is that's not necessarily because the races are long. I mean, these races are so long, it kind of turns into an asphalt thing where it kind of stretches out and not a whole lot's happening for a while. But then you get to the end, it turns into a Donnybrook, as they say.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of stuff happening there. Underrated racing. I mean, I think that it's like we said that a couple of shows ago, like it's trying to be, there for a while, everybody was into all the other racing, right? Now everybody's kind of going back into their clique and staying in their lane, and the dirt guys are only paying attention to the dirt guys, and the pavement stuff's only paying attention to the pavement stuff. When all we need to do is work together. It's not a hard concept, but it was not that one's better than the other. It's just all motorsports as a whole needs to be successful. If there's a big scandal or a big crash in a dirt, people outside the world just think that every single they don't know the difference when they just see it. We know the difference between a dirt late model and a pavement super late model, but your average person just like, oh, that's just a race, nobody cares or whatever. But we all need to work together to make it better.
And I will tell you, if you're a diehard pavement person, an asphalt person, which I am. I mean, that's what I grew up doing. I raced that, and that's what I've always been around. And now, with dirt here in Texas, I've kind of gravitated over there to where I enjoy that very much as well. I'll tell you that if you want to if you're a diehard pavement person, if you want to give dirt a shot and you want to watch it, and you want to try to get into it and kind of feel it a little bit, watch some late model racing. To me, that really is the one that kind of, I'm like, okay, I kind of get this. I kind of get what they're doing here. And it's probably just as stupid as they kind of look like pavement cars. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But it was one of those things to where that's when, if Lucas Oil Dirt's on and I have free time, I'm going to watch it. Because that's sprints are great. I mean, I love IMCA stock cars, the same thing. To where if you get a big stock car event, I can turn that on and I'm like, okay, I can totally feel that. I can totally get into that. So if you're new to dirt, like Bobby and I, dirt aficionados, we are now. I mean, you dive into that, and that'll kind of give you that nibble a little bit. That's that minnow on the hook that can kind of give you that taste.
Yeah, definitely. That Sparkling City Classic, IMCA stock cars, IMCA limited modifieds, big time money there in Corpus at the end of their middle part of December.
That's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Quickly over to asphalt. You do have, when you talk, kind of one of the hidden gems, like we always talking about, and I don't know why we mentioned this at the beginning, but the Valley Star Credit Union 300 for the late model stocks. Obviously, you've got the Cars Tour that does what the Cars Tour do, and they'll be back at Tri-County on the 4th as well. But that Valley Star 379 are entered for that coming up this weekend at Martinsville. My man, that's homegrown. That's homegrown racing right there.
Well, we always say that a race is important when NASCAR talks about it, and when our buddies over at SiriusXM talk about it. That is one of the races. I mean, it's the Derby, it's the Chili Bowl, and the Credit 300 lap race there at Martinsville for the late model stock cars. You win that one, you're in an upper echelon of notoriety there. So that race is going to be a lot of fun, and it's free to watch over the air as long as you have a smart TV, either on the Tubi app and or the Roku TV app. As long as you can get access to the NASCAR channel, you'll be able to watch that race on Saturday
night. I'll tell you,
night.
Conversely, if you're a dirt track fan and you want to try to get that asphalt feel, asphalt boring, whatever you may think, watch the late model stocks, because kind of what we're talking about there, or what I'm talking about with dirt late models and IMCA stock cars, when you watch the late model stock guys, you will see them absolutely wheeling those cars, because I mean, you still have the chip, you still have all of that stuff, but you will see these guys just driving the piss out of those cars, because there's not a lot that they can do to them compared to a super late model or a pro late model or any of this stuff. So that's kind of the variable there of the two, to where you comp them. If you're dirt, watch the late model stocks, because I think that you'll get the feels. You'll get and on top of that, there's a bunch of them. So you'll kind of have that dirt track.
Oh, and there will be carnage. I mean, there will be carnage.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about the carnage of that race coming up here probably next week, for sure. Because there's gonna be carnage, there's gonna be wrecks, and there's gonna be controversy. But that's part of it. I mean, with a race that big, you got to have
Majeski in that race. So Ty Majeski will jump into a late model stock. I'm going to tell you right now, I saw that Jared Fryer's in that race. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of ours. But I'll tell you, with what we've seen Jared Fryer doing this year, that's a dude where, he's kind of pick and choosing what he's doing. I'm glad he's doing this one. Imagine if Jared wins that. Connor Jones is in this race. Mason Diaz, Stuart Cruz, Peyton Sellers. I mean, the list goes on and on of these 79 folks that are entered for this, to where it's going to be in and of itself Jake Crum just to get into the race. So you're going to be entertained.
Yeah, they got to run alphabet soup too. If you have a bad qualifying night, you're screwed. You got to run alphabet soup.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll be a good one as well. So that's what you have coming up this weekend. So kind of looking back, we talk a little bit of NASCAR. Here we are moving forward. Ryan Blaney wins at New Hampshire. I missed the race. I did go back, took your advice and watched it, and got caught up to it in about 12 minutes. And I guess the story coming out of that is Denny versus JGR. I'm not going to say Denny versus the youngster there, Ty Gibbs. Denny is, I understand Denny's point, and I understand Denny being frustrated, and Denny kind of took matters into his own hand right there. But Denny's kind of bucking the system right there, and Gibbs says they're going to let these guys work it out. I don't think I want to work things out with Denny Hamlin. And what did Denny say at the end of that race, Bobby? Leadership needs to get involved, and leadership does not want to get involved.
Yeah, that's what they said, and they don't want to get in the middle of it. I mean, it's one thing to take out your teammate. It's another thing when the teammate name above the door of the race car is the same one that's above the door at the front entrance of the race shop.
That's right. So, and that move right there, I get it. But at the same time, I get Ty Gibbs to where it's like you don't want to get out of the way. I mean, you don't just want to move over or anything like that. But at the same time, you do. This is very much a team acclimated sport now, to where you have to respect the fact that your teammate is running for a championship. Doesn't matter who it is. I mean, that there should be a little respect right there. But that just taking the matters into his own hands, and this is going to be a story that's going to, I think, that's going to continue to trickle along as we go. And I think that as we've seen Ty Gibbs, he's, say what you want to say about the guy. And I know he's disappointed that he's not in the championship race and not in the playoffs right now. But Bobby, you have to think at some point, this dude's going to return the favor. And it's probably not going to be something better conducive for JGR winning a championship.
No, I'm thinking the Roval.
Yeah.
If Denny's in on points, boom. I think that it's like if he wins at Kansas, if Hamlin wins at Kansas and is locked into the next round, Gibbs is going to punt his ass at the Roval. That's my prediction.
Yeah, it could be. And that ultimate,
because we all know SVG is going to win the Roval. He qualified 10th.
I see that. And I think that's where folks need to really, where people discount him, to where it's like when he gets better, he has gotten better. You look at some of these oval track races to where he's been like the lucky dog, or he's been where they've said he's been in the way, but he's the guy that's trying to get back on the lead lap. His oval program has gotten a lot better. And I think that once you get into the offseason, this dude's going to have sim time and going to continue to learn this car even better. You better be ready, because I think 2026 is when this guy could become the full deal, and you're going to have to deal with this guy on oval tracks at some point.
Well, and then you got Zillich coming up full time. They announced today Kyle Busch's current crew chief, Randall Burnett, leaving RCR, going to go over to Trackhouse to be crew chief for Connor Zillich. I still say, in a perfect scenario, you give Zillich the 87 and you put SVG back in a number 97 Cup car to match all his other race car numbers. It's putting SVG in a number 97 is the same equivalent as getting Chase Elliott into a number 9. Remember how when he was in number 24, it didn't feel right? SVG, after watching all the supercar races and all of that, and watch him in an Xfinity series in a number 97, him in a number 88 car just doesn't feel right. I think if you put him in a number 97 car, it sets the world lines up.
I'm curious to see with Randall Burnett moving off, moving away from RCR, what you do with Kyle Busch. And I know that a lot of folks have been, I heard Harvick earlier, talking about this, to where it's like, even you've got the biggest detractors that you've ever had for Kyle Busch, to where it's like, this guy, and the funny thing about it is what you hear folks talking about these days with Kyle Busch is, can he win a race again? Not, he should be winning races, which I think he should be winning races, because I don't think that Kyle Busch's talent set or skill set, none of that has diminished. I mean, this guy, I would still put him pound for pound with anybody else in the Cup Series at this point as one of the best drivers. But it's just that there's no speed. There's nothing. I don't know what RCR does. I've heard Rodney Childers being tossed around as maybe a possible replacement there. Look, Rodney Childers is a great guy. He had a great run there with Kevin Harvick, but in this next-gen car, he didn't blow me off the map. I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know if you go get another guy that was good at something else to come in here and try to fix what's going on with Kyle Busch. But I keep hearing people say, what's going to fix Kyle Busch? The equipment's going to fix Kyle Busch. There's nothing wrong with him. It's just...
There's one thing that's going to fix Kyle Busch. It's called Stellantis.
Stellantis.
That's the parent company of Dodge.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's right. It sure as hell is. Maybe it is. I mean, maybe it is. But
that's the only place for Dodge to go is RCR.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know.
They can't start from scratch because they don't have an engine program.
Well, I mean, maybe so, but I think that'd be a hard pill to swallow for Pop. I guess if the money's right, you know how that goes. When it comes to tough situations, if the money's right, if they show you this, you kind of get over that loyalty thing. So maybe that's what it takes. But I keep hearing.
It's the same reason Mike Gundy left today, because he got $5 million more today than he did if he stayed the whole year.
Ray Evernham, when you look at when Dodge came back the last time, it's like Ray Evernham was a Chevrolet guy, a Hendrick guy, and boom, he's gone. So that tended to fix stuff. So I don't know, but I don't want to see, and I don't think that Kyle Busch's days are numbered. I mean, his time as a Cup driver,
he's just not a fan of the new car.
I mean, he doesn't like it. And why does he not like it? I think is because of what do we talk about, to where it's like these guys, him, Harvick, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, these guys like to get in these cars and they like to put their skills to make the fucking car go fast. And
they can't do that with this car.
They can't do that with that. It's like they overcome a lot of obstacles just because they're able to manipulate the car better. And they can't do that with this car. And I think with Kyle Busch, what I don't want to happen is that once his contract is over, is that he steps away. Still, he's not in his prime anymore. I don't think he's in his prime, but I don't think he's in the sunset of his career either. I would hate that Kyle Busch walks away without another win in a year or two, and we think, damn, he had 2.5 good years left in him. Put him in a good spot. Put him in a good. I think this dude has 5 or 8 wins left in him if you put him in a good spot.
Got to put him in a good spot. But where is that spot? He can't go back to Hendrick. He can't go back to Gibbs.
He's pissed everybody off.
Ain't no room at Penske or Wood Brothers, right? So that's counted out. Really ain't no room at Trackhouse now that Connor Zilic is there. I mean, where's he going to go? He don't like Spire because Spire screwed him out of the truck team in the truck building when he sold his stuff to Spire. RCR is the only place left for him.
Yeah. Maybe so. So we'll see. But it's like, seriously, it's painful to watch. And I mean, Kyle Busch has done things and said things, that rubs everybody the wrong way. I mean, everybody has been pissed off at this dude for one reason or another at some point in the last 20 years, right? That dude's been around. Yeah,
easily. Yeah,
but
easily
to
20
see
years.
that dude struggling around to run in the top 30, that's insulting, man. That's insulting.
And Austin Dillon has 2 more wins than Kyle Busch does in the last 2 years.
That's even more insulting. Although Austin Dillon, he's a great driver depending on the racetrack and whatever. But yeah, I don't want to see Kyle Busch go out this way. So I don't know. That's a good call. Maybe it is Dodge or whatever you said. Stellantis. Maybe that is the answer. And for the folks saying, well, maybe he'll just go run the truck series. No, his kid's going to run the truck series before he does.
Well, it makes sense because if he switches to Dodge and there's the Dodge truck team That'll put Brexton in line to get one of the Dodge truck teams because there's going to be at least 5 for 1 year. They'll probably scale back to 4, and then have a 5th part-time truck in 2027. So I don't know. I'm still interested to see how that plays out. It's one thing to get a body made and get a team to put bodies on it and then of course I keep hearing that there's going to be a universal chassis similar to the next gen car, going to be a next gen truck chassis where you buy it directly from NASCAR instead of building it yourself. So that's what I heard is coming up in 2028 for the trucks. But
they've, I kind of think the motor thing has kind of done the trucks in, and I get that economical part of all of that, of what the intent was there.
They know economical. There's $75,000 a piece.
And this is where I go back to the Busch series is really the one. I mean, if you want to, hopefully they leave that one alone. Leave that alone. You'll have the Busch series bully and all the rising stars and veterans in that one. I mean, that's where you're going to get the best, entertainment watching this. But give these cars some horsepower, turn these guys loose, and just let them go. Because I think if they really did the horsepower thing to where they open up the horses on these Cup cars, Bobby, especially the way that they handle, with the way that these cars are built with suspension and the different, other than the damn with trailing arms or whatever the hell gets bent on them all the time, I think this is something where if you just let them go, open up the horsepower. Can you imagine this car sticking like a magnet with that kind of horsepower?
That's problem is they suck because they're all so close together.
I know.
But you give them take away some downforce. That's an easy fix. Not going to cost the teams a whole lot of money to kind of change up the body just a little bit. Take away a little downforce, add in a little horsepower, scoot the number back to the door. People won't bitch as much.
There's not enough quarter.
That's the problem.
There's not enough quarter panel.
I know, but that's the problem. I think people are so caught up in that door that it when you look at when you buy the special edition diecast, because I have a bunch of it, when you get like the Hendrick 40th anniversary, it's all next gen cars, but the door, the numbers are in the middle of the door. Looks great, looks fine, it's awesome. I think because the numbers have moved, your hardcore fans are still pissed off that the number got moved forward off the door, that it draws too much attention to a car that sucks. Move the door number back and people won't think it sucks as much because it's going to look like a regular Cup car.
I just don't like I was saying last week, I just don't like the fact, and again, you don't want drivers hurt, you don't want shit tore up, you don't want any of that. I just don't like that when these cars crash or when these cars get together, it's like they bounce around, they spin out, they hit the fence or whatever, and then they just kind of bounce it and they drive off. And it does. Look like
you break a toe link, break the rear toe link. That's about the only part that really gets bent up on these cars.
Look, I totally get they take a beating and all that. The driver safety is the number one thing. But man, when you have something that somewhat resembles a good crash, I want to see some bent sheet. Well, these cars aren't sheet metal. I guess that's the problem. They're built to avoid all that stuff. But it really does. I feel like I'm watching EA Sports. To where it's like a hell of a crash and boom, it just spins around. And then that's the other part too. It's like when they bend the toe link, it's like, they go driving into the pits and then they get under there and it's so easy to fix. Who was it, Larson, or who was it the other day that they bent a toe link and the wheels all bent out of shape and it's stuck up in the exhaust and they go limping in the pits and boom, 2 seconds later they go driving out. It's like nothing ever happened. And you got a scrape on the car. It's like, man, come on, man. That's like playing NASCAR on Xbox or
easy level. Yeah. Easy.
Yeah,
level.
man. I win all the time on there and I hit the wall every lap. So anyway, I don't know, but we'll see. So where are they this week? That's how in tune I am. Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas.
That might provide some good racing. I think that maybe we get a good one out of that. So we'll see what happens.
Kansas, and then the Roval's the cutoff. And then they go.
And you get the crazy stage, right? That's Talladega.
Yeah, you get Talladega's in the middle. Talladega, Martinsville.
Yeah, there's one other one in there. That next stage, I think, is when shit gets all out of control to where it's like that. That's really gonna shake stuff up. Vegas.
Oh, Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, just Kansas is next, then the Roval. And then Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix. Yeah. So we're almost done.
Well, and the whole thing is, if Joey Logano catches fire and does it again, and he's looked better, he looked good this past week. If that dude does it again, it's going to be a 4-time champion, and then maybe the point system gets changed.
It's changing. It just depends on how they want to do it. It's changing. It'll still probably be 10 races,
Yeah,
but it's changing.
absolutely.
I've heard 3, 3, 4.
Yeah, I think that's.
But I don't know if that's gonna. I just don't know how that's gonna work. But it's better than the one race thing. But you want Game 7 moments. That's how you do it.
You know, big part of me says if you want 36 races, if you just want to run the thing out like we used to, just do that. But you can't do it, and that's where you can't pull the trigger and just be go rolling up in there as a loose cannon, because there's lots of different entities involved right here to where you can't do that. I mean, there's probably a big part of NASCAR, because they do. I mean, NASCAR does listen to their fans, to where I think they probably would be happy with doing that, but you can't. I mean, there's TV, there's everything involved. I don't care what Jeff Burton says. That factors in. You have to have that drama, and that's.
According to Jeff Gluck, TV told NASCAR to do what they want to do.
Okay, well, let's finish out the season on Prime, and I think that maybe that would. I don't know. It's a no-win with this. Last thing I'll say about it. It's a no-win with this, because when you're finishing up the season in the middle of November, like you're doing, you're going head-to-head with college football. You're going head-to-head with the NFL. It damn near takes it takes a lot to be able to get people glued into this. And when people talk about only 1.5 million people, that's a lot. That's a lot of people that are watching. But it's just really hard. The season's too long. There's too many races. But again, they don't ask us that. They don't ask us that.
As long as they come to our backyard a couple of times a year, I'm good with it.
I just need them here. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Good program tonight, man. We had the ladies.
That's fun.
Yeah, we had the Davis girls. I saw that they posted the Davis girls in their little banner.
That's what I called them. That's what I called them.
I've always called them. I've always called them the Davis girls. So if they say they're the Davis girls, I will continue to call them the Davis girls. Then we had the Queen of Texana, factory stocks, and that is Caitlin Leonard, the brand new newly crowned champion queen of Texana. So a night of queens right here. Rest of the week, my man, what you got hopping?
Just trying to stay caught up with all the normal stuff. Working on some new Halloween decorations. Got my woodworking bug fired up again to make some Halloween decorations out of some wood, and then heading up to Cotton Bowl on Saturday for their championship night, and then Sunday going to watch Kansas. Hopefully it'll be a pretty good show, and then catch up on all the stuff from Pensacola and some of the other races there at Martinsville and stuff like that. But so I have a question I was going to ask earlier to get the opinion, but I forgot, and I thought headshots. Are we supposed to smile in a headshot? Because everybody says that headshot I posted on Facebook, I look too
fortunately,
damn
I don't have to do those anymore. Actually, I did have to do one, and I'll be doing another one in December. Because my face is different than it was a year ago. So, and they specifically told me, they're like, show some teeth. And I'm like, my teeth are bad. They're like, we can fix that. I'm like, okay, great. So I think that
I needed to smile
I think it depends what I know. In my real estate time, when I would do headshots, I'm not a big smiler in pictures when it comes to headshots like that. And I was told by a photographer, it's like, look, you're in the customer service business. You need to smile, because people want to feel your energy, and they want to feel that you are genuinely a happy person. And I'm like, but I'm not. I'm either pissed or depressed. And she's like, well, you need to get over that for about 5 seconds, because I need that. So yeah, I think you're supposed to smile. We're doing some for the sports stuff. And I don't know exactly what the extent of that's going to be, but yeah, I think you should. Yeah, I did see you probably need to smile a little bit. So in that second one that you posted, was that did you do that one yourself, or was that an Allen?
Oh, the one that I posted on my sister's comment there?
Allen Iverson picture? Or
yeah, all of them were.
Shit. That wasn't a pro photographer?
No, that was all AI, buddy.
I didn't know Allen.
That's all off my phone, off of a selfie.
Damn,
with
I
a
didn't know
tank
Allen
top.
Iverson was that talented, man. I thought.
Yeah, I took a selfie with a damn tank top. Next thing I know, I've got a business. I'm wearing a suit and a
Where
nice
the hell
dress
office
shirt.
was that?
I told them to make an office.
Dude, there you go. Christine says,
I'll send you the picture that it
No,
was that I
if
started
you're
with.
if
You're
you're
gonna
in a
be
tank top,
shocked.
I don't need that. You keep that.
Yeah, I was in a tank top. I was in a tank top in my front
no.
office, and boom, there.
I'll
Next thing
take
I
your
know,
word
boom.
for it. You keep that. I've seen you, dress for bed, so I know what that looks like. I mean, not that it looks
Yeah,
bad or
yeah.
anything, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's a little bigger than it once was.
That's what she said. Actually, smaller is what she said. But no, yeah, you should smile. That's okay.
All right, I guess I have to redo it. I'll try to take some more, and then I'll post some new ones that with me smiling. So hopefully everybody won't be up
I
my
didn't
ass
even
about it.
comment because that was my first thought, that you looked way too serious, and it's like, but I know with your job, but this is where I go back to with what you do for a living. It's like you don't need to look like a happy-go-lucky guy, because you kind of need to be, yeah.
Stern,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't think that you'd want to be, So, but no, I didn't.
I meant to ask. I wanted to ask that in the beginning so we could get lots of responses and find out.
Post it. I mean, post it on the Revved Up page. I didn't know it was Allen Iverson. I thought you had gone and had that made, because the way you framed it, it's like I finally took the time and got some headshots made. I'm like, this dude went to like Foley's and went to the professional photography studio.
Yeah, it took about 2 minutes on my AI app on my phone to do it.
Nice. Well done. Well done. That's pretty cool. Yeah, smile a little bit. Done.
All right, I'll take some. I'll make some new
Y'all
ones.
pay attention, because the next couple days on the Revved Up page, we'll have the brand new Bobby Chaffee headshots that are going to be done. I need to learn how to do that. I've got too many distractions. That's why I say I don't go to the TikTok.
I don't even use the Chat GPT. I use the Google one. Chat GPT. I'm too cheap to have the fancy ass account, so they want like $25 a month for the fancy ass one, and I ain't paying $25 a month when all I do is make a bunch of fake ass pictures.
That's what I'm talking about.
Remember the donkey ones I showed you with the Revved Up one that said we're back? I
knew
those
that you did
AI
those with
pictures.
Allen Iverson, but this one here, seriously, dude, I thought you went, I thought you went to like Glamour Shots or something and had that shit done.
Yeah, no, that was all wonderful AI.
That's what I'm talking about. AI. We're gonna have to on a Tuesday night. We're gonna have to have you teach us a course on how to do that, because there are a lot of folks that I think some people get a little carried away with filters to where it's like, they'll take pictures and they're like, hey, I was out and about on the town tonight and I took a picture holding a beer and whatever, and I'm like, okay, well, where are you? Because that ain't you. When they start doing filters and all that, it's like, somebody took a picture of me one time and they put a filter on there. I'm like, okay, no, where's my gray hair? Where's my wrinkles around my eye?
Oh no, it was there. Yeah, they put the gray hair in my. They still cut the gray hair.
I did see that. That's why I thought it was real. Because it looked. I mean, your hair is the way you typically wear it. You're well groomed. I mean, you never have. I mean, you may wear a beard, but you don't have all this neck shit that I'll have all the time. But I seriously thought that was like a glamour shot. Damn, you fool me, buddy.
I sent you the one with me smiling. Pull it up. See what you think was the one with me smiling.
Let's dive in here. All right, where we at right here? Damn, everybody's texting today. What the hell? Oh, look. Oh, all right. Let's see here if we can get that up to the. What do y'all think of that right there? We're going to put that on the page. Yeah, that's a good smile. Look at them white teeth.
Man. Yeah. Love AI.
Turn the lights off, you glow at night. All right. Probably better stop there because it's getting a little out of control. But yeah, post the new ones. Post the new ones with a little bit of a smile. If it's for work, just not overly zealous. You know what I mean? Firm.
Yeah.
Firm, straight, stiff, and firm.
Yeah.
Three things.
Yeah.
Three things that are great qualities to have. Right there.
Yes, they are.
And firm. New hashtag. All right, guys. Thank you for being a part of the program tonight. And as we do this on Ladies' Night and end with that shit. But anyway, we'll do it again next Tuesday night, most likely. So be sure and check into the socials. And thank you for being a part of the program. Thanks for all of you checking in. Be sure to like, share, and reshare over and over and over. Need all.
Yeah, find us on the YouTube page. Like and share the YouTube page.
All right, guys, from deep in the heart of Texas, that is Showtime Bobby Chaffee, the Allen Iverson master. I'm Rodney Rodriguez, the old boring dude on the other side, and we'll do it again next time. This has been the Revved Up Sports Show. Y'all have a great week, everybody.